All right. We live, folks? We live? Are we live? Let's see. Come on. Let people stroll in here. Get a little FUPA computer going here. I apologize for the delay. We like to let people kind of roll in. How's everyone doing? Hopefully all right. Hopefully we get some call-ins tonight. That's what I'm really hoping for, guys. I just kind of put the word out there that I want people who don't like me or don't like what we've built here with Turtle Boy Sports. I want you on the show. I'm not looking for, an argument. I am kind of looking for an argument, actually. But that's the beauty of this all is that we can disagree in this country. We can argue with each other. We don't have to like each other. And at the end of the day, we can all get along somewhat. We don't have to be friends, but we can all discuss our grievances separately, etc. So I've just kind of put it out there on Facebook right now that I am taking people on who want me. So, hold on. Put it out there on Facebook. Wait, that's not good. That's what I sound like. I am taking people on. That's not good. How do I do it? Get out of this sound. All right. Let me get this song going, and then we will start. Let's do it. I Like Turtles remix. There we go. Come on. Oh, they're going to make us watch a commercial.
Setting a reminder for a monthly flea and tick treatment doesn't always work. So get 12-week
Bravecto, the only one that lasts up to 12 weeks with just tasty chew.
Only from your vet. Bravecto.
Turtles! I like turtles! I like turtles! I like turtles! I like turtles! Turtles! I like turtles! I like turtles! I like turtles! I like turtles! Tom beat. Turtles. Tom beat. Turtles. Tom beat. Turtles. Tom beat. Turtles. Turtle. Tom beat. Turtles. Turtle. I like turtles.
All right.
I like turtles.
Hello, Turtle Riders, and welcome to Uncle Turtle Boy's Late Night Garage Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. All right, if you have one of those old garages that you either store all your crap in...
Welcome to Uncle Turtle Boy's Late Night Garage Podcast. This podcast...
Get out of there. All right, so if you have one of those old garages, right, filled with all your crap, you don't really use it for a car. I don't know if you guys know that garages used to be used for cars. A lot of people don't understand that. But you might have gotten complacent and you just don't feel like cleaning it out or whatever. And maybe you just don't want to get out and open the door up. Call our friends up at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. You can find them online at gdplus.com. All right, my boy Chris will come over to your house that day. He will install. First of all, he's going to give you a price. It's going to be so fair. Right, you're not going to know what to do with yourself. After that, you're probably going to hire him on the spot, and guess what? He's going to do the job that day. He's going to hook it all up, and you're going to get a nice little clicker with the button that you can press. Boom, garage door goes up. Boom, garage door goes down. You don't have to live like Fred Flintstone anymore. It will change your life. Find them online again at gdplus.com. That's Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. They'll pretty much go anywhere. All right. There's an echo. Is that what people are saying? Is there an echo right now? Hopefully not. But yeah, if you guys are, by the way, also, if you want to support what we do, there's a number of options. You can get the ad-free subscription, which is my favorite recommendation. Go ad-free, $10 a month. Can't beat it. Easiest way to support us. You hardly notice it. Or you could donate, or you could get some in the Turtle Boy store. If you ever have any recommendations of crap you want to see in there, I know people say they want these hats that I'm wearing in the store. I can't recreate these hats. They don't let me in the store. But we do have some hats in there. They're just not these ones. But anyway, Yeah, that's that. So we definitely got some things we got to talk about tonight. I'm very excited about tonight's podcast. And as I mentioned previously, anybody who wants to come on here. Oh, yeah. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to go ahead and I'm going to share this on Clarence. It fucking never comes up. I'll do it right on my phone because this takes forever on my FUPA computer. All right. Where is it at? Boom. Copy this. How do I copy it on my phone? Huh? Get out of there, freaking Brockton Hub. Try it this way. When you guys are on a phone, how can you freaking copy the... Oh, there it is, the share button. Share, copy link. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to post it on my phone because my phone's not stupid. And I'm going to ask you guys if you can. I'm right now. We live. And if you guys could share that for me, if you're on Facebook, that'd be great. Let people know. Trying to get the subscriber count up on YouTube. It's piss poor low right now. A lot of people don't want to join YouTube for whatever reason. It's way better. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the future of Turtle Boy, right? Are these video podcasts and podcasts in general. I would much rather do these all day than write blogs. I don't mind writing blogs. I like to read blogs, but it's a lot easier to talk than it is to write. Let's be honest. And so the more people we get subscribed to this, the better, because this is the future of Turtle Boy. All right. So things I want to talk about today. And as usual, the floor is open. If there's anything you guys want to talk about listed in the live stream, we'll talk about it as well. However, the first thing I want to talk about is I want to dance on the grave a little bit of Manuel Lucero, who found out the hard way why it is ill-advised to poke the turtle. All right. So you guys have been following this saga. We don't need to rehash the whole thing, but the TLDR of it all is that last week, an individual named Adam Walker just got out of prison, and he wanted us to smear the ADA who put him away in jail in 2014, and then Adam started harassing him and stalking him and threatening him, and for that he was arrested and went back to jail in 2016. He got out of jail. First thing he does, tries to use us to smear the ADA, likely because he has a restraining order out against him and cannot communicate with them. So we end up exposing Adam and the madness that is Adam Walker, and it leads us to this other guy, Manuel Lucero, who did a forensic analysis for Adam while in jail together, proving, allegedly, that Adam did not send those messages to the ADA. Keeping track now? And like an hour after the blog went up, Manuel called me pretending to be a lawyer named Eric Blackburn in Arizona, which I thought was completely legitimate. I thought this guy was like some sort of like, you never know. He's gay. He's diverse. He's crafty. I figured he's one of these guys that some nonprofit latched onto or whatever, and I fell for it. And shame on me. But as a result, Bristol started doing some digging on him and found out all the shit about all the cons this guy's been running over the years. And we also find out that he is, in fact, a registered sex offender and a violent sex offender. And he's supposed to be living in California. However, he was living in Arizona on some sort of Indian reservation because his father is Native American and he's in a council or some crap. And so we find out that he is not registered as a sex offender in this community. He's not even allowed to leave more than 50 miles from Hanford, California. And he's going to this town in Arizona, and he hasn't registered there. He's also contacted me on Facebook, which is a violation of his probation as well. Interesting. And if you recall last Wednesday's legendary episode of Turtle Boy Live, it was an impromptu live, I got a phone call from a police officer in this town that he's living in, and I promptly told him to lick my balls in a variety of ways, really creative ways, and I thought I was talking to Manuel the whole time because hours earlier I had been fooled into thinking that Manuel was a lawyer. So I figured this is Manuel again, and I'm asking him how big his dick is, and it turns out, oops, it's a real cop. So obviously at this point, the police think I'm the bad guy because he probably went in there and did his whole con thing and pretended to be a legitimate guy, and here I am telling the officer to lick my balls. So that's not good. And you all heard it on live. And the next day I get a harassment order. or 2 days later, I get a harassment order signed by a judge out there based off of the police report he had. And this douchebag had faked messages, right? Faked messages from me, right? That allegedly showed me, what was it doing? Sending him threatening messages. Except I never sent any threatening messages to him. He just downloaded some app and he framed me and like used. It's fraud, people. It's forgery, right? It's perjury. He signed something under the what is it? Pains and penalties and pains or whatever of perjury, and he lied about it. And he knew he did because he couldn't get anything on me. And I know a lot of people were mad at Wyatt. I'm not even mad at that guy. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I feel bad for him because he's like a really diehard turtle rider, right? And he genuinely thought that what he was doing was like a good thing. And the thing about it is, when I tell people not to do something, they tend to listen, right? Because, I don't know, I'm the guy that runs Turtle Boy. But when Turtle Riders tell, him to stop doing something, which they did, they tend to not listen. It's like, I don't want to sound patriarchal here, but it's kind of like it's like your brother or sister telling you what to do as opposed to your father. I'm not your daddy. I'm not saying that. But you get what I'm saying here. It's a very different thing, right? When other turtle riders tell you to cut the shit, he might double down, right? He might not want to hear that. Whereas if I pull him aside, which I did, and speak to him, he gets the point. And he did apologize to me. He feels awful about it. And I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he did something stupid and moronic. And ultimately, let's be honest, Manny could have just done that himself. Manny could just make up a fake page and send himself, threatening messages from some random page, right? And so, whatever. I'm not mad at him. I've completely forgiven him, and I hope others will as well. He fucked up. Maybe one day, in the near, not so distant future, we'll all be able to laugh about that. Because I just want to let people know I'm over it. I'm not even mad at him because the problem is solved at this point. Because here's what happened, right? Think of how freaking arrogant and stupid you have to be, right? To know that you have active warrants out against you. That's the thing. I called Worcester Probation Office, and I found out he has, because I wanted to speak to their probation office, right, about probation in California, right, because you got to transfer probation, and you got to go to the new terms in California. So I wanted to speak to the Worcester Probation Office about this individual and let them know what was happening. And they informed me when I called up, they thought I was the victim. Okay, and they told me something they weren't supposed to tell me. They told me that he has outstanding warrants, felony warrants for sexual assault, for violating probation with the sexual assault, right? They weren't supposed to tell me that. They called me back and they're like, wait a minute, are you the victim? I'm like, no. They're like, okay, we weren't supposed to tell you that. Oops. But they did anyway. So I called the police in Arizona, and they didn't really seem to give a shit. They actually told me, they're like, they still thought I was the bad guy. You could tell. So I called the Holden police up and I informed them what was going on. And the Holden police made a call to the Prescott police and they let them know what the deal is. Because these people in Arizona have probably never heard of Turtle Boy. And so they let him know, like, no, Turtle Boy's the good guy here. He supports the police for the most part. They expose scumbags. These are bad people. This guy, Manuel, he's bad news. Read the blogs. The Holden police actually sent all of the links to, and the Holden police are fantastic. I can't say enough good things about them. They sent a lot of links to the Prescott police, and then they must have changed their tone because on Monday I got a call back from them. And they realized completely what they were dealing with here. And they said, we expect to have an arrest against him by the end of the day. They called me a couple hours later and they said he was actually arrested yesterday by the sheriff's department. He was picked up on warrants. He is being extradited back to Massachusetts for violating his probation. What a dumbass, huh? Is there ever been a bigger dumbass than that? I mean, folks, seriously. Think of that. Think of how stupid you have to be to have warrants out against you. And you walk into a police station and a courthouse, like the last two places, and you were successful. That you got what you wanted, right? You got what you wanted. But what these fucking morons don't understand is like, I am a vindictive cunt. I really am. That's one thing I proudly say about myself is like, I specialize in revenge, right? I never forget somebody who's severely wronged me. I'm not going to physically hurt you. I realize that's not realistic. That's not appropriate. It's not how people handle themselves in a civilized society. But I can do other things, legal things, and that's what these Ryan Waters of the and Mike Gaffneys of the world don't understand. It's like, I'm gonna bury, like, no, I'm not gonna hit you. You're gonna wish I did. I'd much rather be punched in the face than deal with myself and the things that Turtle Boy does to people that cross Turtle Boy. Okay, it will be my pleasure to ruin your life. Let me explain. Like, and I don't want to ruin your life. I don't want to ruin anyone's life. But if you insist on doing shit like this, if you insist on sending me threatening text messages, if you insist on trying to frame me for a harassment order, like Charlotte McFarland did, right? And by the way, remember Charlotte? She's being arraigned too. I was at her arraignment last week. Yeah. She's gonna face criminal charges for what she did. Yeah, I had no fucking clue who Charlotte McFarland was. I never wrote a blog about her. Until she wanted to poke. Let's poke. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm pleading. I'm pleading with people. I'm like a nice Christian guy. I don't want to destroy you. I really, really don't. I just want to be friends, right? That's it. I don't. I just want to be friends with you. Stop making me destroy you. Please. Please. I don't want to do this anymore. You're making me do this. Okay? Manny didn't get that message. Well, guess what? Manny can think about me in jail, right? And Manny's going to be in jail in Massachusetts. Hopefully Worcester County. And I'm going to find out when visiting days are, Manny. I'm going to come see you, man. We're going to hang out. I'm going to put some freaking money in the commissary, dude. You're going to have a good time up there. Trust me. Trust me. We're going to be good friends. So, anyway. Yeah, so that's that. I don't know if you guys have any questions about that. Who's Charlotte? Oh, Charlotte is Charlotte McFarland, right? Is that her last name? Charlotte, I thought was a BLT 123, but as it turns out, Charlotte is, because she describes herself as genderqueer. So I thought we were dealing with a dude who went as a chick, but it's actually just a chick, right? Who is a chick, admits she's a chick, and still calls herself genderqueer just to be weird. That's all this is. These people are just losers. They just want to be weird. It's cool to be weird with them. And she wanted our attention for a long time. Like, I had to block her on all the social media accounts because she would just harass, hate speech, blah, 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 and just like annoying, stupid shit. She's some fire gypsy. I guess we wrote about her fire gypsy friends, these people that play with fire and they're weird. And yeah, so I never wrote about her. You could tell she's one of those people who wanted to be written about so she could victimize herself. And I just never did because she's not interesting. She's boring. And she took out a harassment order against me, claiming that I sent people after her. And it was absurd. And I went into court in Brookline. It was actually, Brighton District Court, which is in Brookline Courthouse for some reason. And I'm in there, and the judge clearly doesn't like me, right? Because I got pissed. I had to drag my two kids down there. I found out the day before I had to go in there, and I'm holding one of them. He's crying. The other one's sitting there being a pain in the ass. And here I am dealing with this freaking BLT 123, and she's telling me, Your Honor, they're sending people after me. It's really because they're mad because I'm on disability and I don't work, and I'm genderqueer and this and that. And then it's my turn to talk, and she's staring at me, and I'm just like, do not look at me. And I got in big trouble for that. I said, don't look at me. Like, real stern, like, like, don't fucking look at me. I'm not looking at you, you freak show. And she looked at me, and then the judge just like told me to stop. And I'm like, sorry. That's what happens when you go in court without a lawyer. You open your big mouth, like I did. So I was really pissed. I had my kids there. I was really frustrated and all this shit. So anyway, this chick had posted a couple times about throwing Molotov cocktails through my house. And I found that very disturbing considering she works with fire. And I consider that a serious threat. And I'm going to make an example of these people. If you fucking do that shit's not cute. Okay? I don't care if you're serious or not. I don't think you're actually going to do it. But I'm not going to take any chances. That shit is not cute. If you do that, you have broken a law. And I will push to the full extent of the law to get justice against you. And I'm not fucking around. Right? Because I have the law on my side. And the district attorney's office is handling this now. They are pressing charges against her. I was in court for when that happened. I was in court for when the harassment order went through. I don't think not going to go to jail or anything, but she might get probation. Who knows, right? Who knows? Just understand she has to come out here to Leominster District Court, once in a while now for these court dates now. That's what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to make your life inconvenient and awful. Just like you're going to be like, man, I could have picked a fight with anyone, and I picked a fight with Turtle Boy. That was fucking stupid. That's my goal, is to get you to say that. Do not pick fights with me, okay? So anyway, that's Charlotte. The Charlotte story happened in February. She also took out a harassment order against Brett Killeran, and that we had to keep Brett off the show for like 2 months because, the ADA out there for some reason was involved in this and told me after the harassment order against me was denied. She comes out and says, "Was the harassment order against you denied?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Don't worry, we're going to get you." You're going to get me? I'm the law-abiding citizen here. She's the freaking psycho freak threatening to burn my house down. You're not going to get shit. Get fucked. That's what you can get. So anyway, she has no freaking money. Yeah, she has no money. So I'm glad it all worked out. Margaret Hegarty, that's that bitch's name. Yeah, fuck her. Anyway, what else? I want to talk about another story here. What was the other good stories from the week? So we had Nose Job Guy. I definitely wanted to talk about this situation. I'm going to save the jet ski story to the live show this weekend because that's a good one, and I think we're going to keep adding stuff onto that. But I definitely want to talk about this story here involving the the latest fake racism thing. Maybe we can touch on this Braintree thing as well. Yeah. So there's so much shit we could talk about. We could talk about Gay OC running for Congress out in Holyoke. Man, there's a lot of shit here, huh? So anyway, which one do you guys want to talk about? How about that way? Let's see what people want to talk about here. Because I'm favoring the this one right here about this virtue signaling douchebag gets karma. That the state rep lied about him. I think this story is absolutely hilarious. So let's do that. Collins, yeah. Okay, with Collins, I'm not really that interested in people that get along with me. That's the thing. It's just boring. Let's be honest. I mean, I like good radio. I like tension. I like arguments. I like disagreements. It's just kind of boring when people, call up and they're not, agreeing. All right, you want to call someone? Let's call this chick up. All right, who I just messaged earlier. I just posted about her. I'll call her. I don't care. I'll call her up because I don't like frauds. Where's she at? Right there. Okay. Cassandra. This is her name. So this chick posted that doesn't like the blog 2 years ago, I believe. So back when we had the Facebook page, we used to get so many messages for story ideas. So many. We couldn't get to them all, right? And this woman, who evidently doesn't like Turtle Boy anymore because she was bashing us on the All Things Plymouth page, she decided, she came to us with a story about a guy who was allegedly killed by a nurse while walking on the side of the road. The nurse was driving, and she said it was a big cover-up. They were protecting the nurse. It sounded interesting. However, there was no evidence, right? And I'm like, do you have any evidence to back this up? Nothing. And they didn't. And I'm like, I can't help you, I don't think you're lying necessarily. I just have no proof that you're telling the truth, come on. See, we got a FUPA computer thing going on. All right. We'll come back to that one. So anyway, let's give this chick a call because she's evidently still mad about this because she posted about it today. a reason that Turtle Boy is bad. I'm just gonna call it. I want to talk to people that don't like me. I like those kind of conversations. I'm a reasonable guy. I can talk to anyone. I can find common ground, and I think I can convince anyone who thinks that they hate me that I'm really not a bad guy. Like, that's my goal, is to let people see the light. They're like, even though, like, I can get along with Kevin Lynch. Kevin Lynch was my worst enemy for years. He's caused so much freaking destruction to my blog, and I can get along with Kevin Lynch. If I can get along with Kevin Lynch, I can get along with anyone, especially this chick. That's what I can't stand about this. Like, you messaged me in the page because you trusted us, right? You wanted us to get the story out there, and now you're just mad because, you know, we didn't do it. Like, come on. Either we're a legit source or we're not. Why would you come to us if we weren't a legit source? So anyway, she ain't answered. So anyway, let's talk about this state rep in Georgia. Have you guys been following this story? This is a wild one. Perfect example of wokeness. The nurse was found guilty today. That's interesting. Misty was sad because you said mean things. I do say mean things. That's absolutely right. We're still in a ceasefire with Lynch as far as I know. You know? I don't agree with Kevin on anything. I think I resent everything he stands for. But he's not bothering me, so what do I care? You guys, yeah, I miss the Kevin fights. I don't. That guy was freaking destructive, man. I didn't mind fighting with anyone else, but that guy, he played for keeps. Like, you guys heard him on the live show. Kevin Lynch legitimately said that he reports the page 3 hours a day. I cannot compete with somebody that does that. He has nothing to do. Okay? He dedicated his life to taking down Turtle Boy. I cannot deal with an adversary like that. I'm out of my league. I readily admit that. So, oh, you got the sweatshirt today. That's great, Casey. All right. Yeah, Failure Live would be awesomely, but she'd never come on. I'd love to get Metro on here. Metro would be the ultimate one, but while there's still litigation pending, that will not be happening. So, anyway, I want to talk about this state rep thing. So, if you guys been following the news, this was all over the news on Saturday and Sunday, right? It was alleged, ever since Trump last week tweeted out that he wanted these 4 congressmen to go back to where their countries, which, by the way, has turned out to be a stroke of genius, because I think his goal was to make those 4 idiots the face of the Democratic Party, right? Because they're the most unlikable. Most Democrats don't even like them, right? But they have to defend them if Trump attacks them. See what I'm saying? And so all of a sudden, hashtag I stand with Ilhan is trending on Twitter. That's exactly what he wanted. He wanted them to become the face, and it worked because they're so terrible. And if that's the face of the Democratic Party, people are more likely to vote for Trump. It's actually kind of genius. I hate to admit it. I thought it was stupid at first, but it's actually kind of genius. So anyway, ever since he said that, it's been like the new buzzword is like it's racist to tell people to go back. Right? So all of a sudden this chick appears. Her name is Erica Thomas. As you can see here, she is a short-haired, angry African-American woman, and that means there's a 0.0% chance she's a Trump supporter, and she's really looking for a fight. She's been constantly virtue signaling on social media about racism, how she's always a victim of racism. She says that she loves frickin', what's his name? Yeah, you can't make this shit up. Going downtown Atlanta for an event, I hope I magically bump into Jussie Smollett. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. That is fantastic considering what's about to happen. So she's all over the news because she goes on, she says, today I was verbally assaulted in the grocery store by a white man who told me I was a lazy SOB and to go back to where I came from because I had too many items in the express lane. So stop right there. Stop right there. He told me to go back where I came from because I had too many items in the express lane. Do you belong in the express lane if you have too many items? No. Then you need to go back to where you came from, and that would be the regular line, right? That's how I would view that if you said that. But she knows this is a buzzword to say this, right? My husband wasn't there to defend me because he's on active duty serving the country. Came from USA. Okay, we get it. You're a victim. You've been, by racism. Either way. Let's suppose he did say that. Like, he's legitimately racist, and he's like, go back to Africa, stupid. Right? Suppose he is. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Right? That you should be like, fuck off, dude. Like, who the fuck are you? You go back to where you come from, bitch. Like, that's what you gotta say. That's what a real person does. Okay? This chick, though, takes it to a whole new level. Let's find the video here. Where'd it go? Where'd the video go? Come on. Repeat. I don't want her. Fucking FUPA computer. Alright, she sits on there and she cries. You just gotta hear her cry. It would have been better if I could play the audio. Maybe I still can. Let me see. You gotta hear the audio, though. Check this out. Come on. FUPA computer, come on. One of these days I'm going to get a real computer. I'm due for a new one. How often do you guys get new computers? It's been 4 years. I feel like that's like a once every 4 or 5 years thing. You got to upgrade. I'm also the guy that rides his car, like literally until it is completely destroyed. I mow my lawn once every 3 weeks instead of every week. I'm that guy, right? I wait till the last minute to do everything. I ride it out. Come on, douche. Anyway, as you can imagine, you see just from the pictures there, she's sitting there crying, like literally crying. Why? Right? Why? Because some guy told her to allegedly go back to where she came from, which is the non-express line. She should go back to the non-express line. If you cry about this, right, you have no business holding elected office. None. You are not mature enough to pass and vote on laws that affect other people, right? This right here, and I hate to say it, ladies, this is the reason women couldn't vote until 1920. It's a fact, and you know it is, all right? Because this is how men viewed women, as emotionally weak, fragile, and they're like, imagine somebody like this running the country. Good fucking Lord, right? And here she is, feeding into every fucking stereotype of that. This is like such a step back for women. Like, no, we're strong. We're just like everyone else. Until somebody tells me to go back, and then I'm going to go on social media and fucking cry. Oh my fucking God, I'm going to go back. How will I ever fucking recover from this? Oh my God, he was white too. Holy shit. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, shut the fuck up, okay? So she goes on there and does that. And she said, I feared for my life. And she goes, enough of this white privilege shit. That is what. As soon as you say shit like that, nobody takes you seriously. At least nobody should. However, tons and tons and tons of people do. Okay? All these idiots go along with it, and they're like, girl, we got your back. All this bullshit. And even like presidential, here she is sharing it. The Washington Post is all over it. It's like literally headline news. The guy pushing it, look who he tags in it. The whole freaking squad. He knows they'll always fall for some bullshit. He tagged Sean King, of course. Talcum X is going to fall for it. Stacey Abrams, who still hasn't admitted that she lost that election fair and square. And then she calls out the Republican governor for not doing anything. What the fuck is he supposed to do? He tags people running for office, stuff like that. Ilhan Omar retweets it. But then, of course, Rashida Tlaib, who's fucking the worst of all of them, retweets it. But the word, like, we know the squad's fucking worse is when it's like people like Beto over what a fucking tool this guy told this guy, huh? I readily admit, I was on record as saying, I'm like, I bet you this guy's going to get the nomination. I was so wrong, folks. What a weak little pussy Beto O'Rourke is. He really is. Just stands for absolutely fucking nothing. That's it. He stands for nothing. These are the consequences of a president who foments hate every day. Oh, yeah, diversity is our strength. Erica, we love you. De Blasio, let's be clear. This is on Donald Trump. It's all his fault. Blah, blah, blah. Ted Lieu wrote the same shit. I stand with Erica. Well, It all blew up when she's holding a press conference outside of the grocery store, and look who shows up. This dude, right? This is the guy who allegedly called her that. He could have just disappeared, right? Like, if he actually said this to her, right? The last thing he'd ever want to do is put his name out there. But he's like, no, fuck this chick. I'm going to set the record straight. He's like, I'm the man she's talking about. Lies galore for personal political gain. I'm not racist. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to call her ass out. And that's exactly what it does. And there's a big freaking confrontation here, right? Let me show you some of this confrontation. It's fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. Nah, it's gonna fupa.
Tell me what happened on Friday at Publix.
This woman was in the express lane.
Here we go. Watch this. Come on.
You berated me, and everybody needs to see
You know
your
it's
face
on camera, right?
Yes, I know it's on camera, and everybody needs to
camera in
know
public,
that
too.
what you did to me, and what you did to me as a woman that is 9 months pregnant, and you think you're going to get away with this?
Good
No,
luck,
you're
man.
not. You are going to jail. And
She's
this
going to
speaks for
jail.
Oh no, I'm showing myself. This
Good luck,
speaks for
man.
every black, brown, and any woman that's out there that's 9 months pregnant, and a white man comes up to you and calls you a son
not white.
of I don't care what
I'm
you
not
are.
white.
Yes, you are. I'm not white. Well, first of all, guy, you look
You
pretty
are.
white.
I'm not
If
white.
anybody comes up to you and calls you a son of it, I am facing the man that degraded me and berated me, and I'm not crying. No, I'm not.
You were
I'm
crying.
standing right in front of you. And if you know how you made me feel yesterday, if you know how you made
Back
my
off.
daughter feel,
Back off before I call the police.
call the police right now because
Back
they
off.
are looking for you.
I already
They are
talked to
looking
them.
for you.
I already talked
It's
to them.
okay. I am so
Back
happy
off.
that you're here.
Am
And
I
I'm happy
arrested?
that everybody needs to see this man that did this to me. And he thinks that he gets a 5 minutes of fame. You think that you're going to
Yeah, you think you're gonna steal the spotlight from me? Bitch, this is my spotlight. I invented this game. What you talking about, Willis? I mean, Jesus Christ, what a fucking awful person. This is the face of the Democratic Party, folks. This is what it's turned into, right? Literally just bullshit. And then a guy calls him out on the bullshit, and she goes, "You're going to jail." Like, she literally she has the power to do that. She's an elected official, and she's telling a private citizen, "I'm going to send you to jail because you called me a bitch." He admits to calling her a bitch. By the way, she has since taken it back. She has admitted, maybe he didn't say that. He said something to that effect. Like, get out of here, go back, whatever. It's like but that's what made headlines. The go back to where you came from. If he hadn't allegedly said that, none of this would be news, lady. You knew goddamn well when you chose those words that you were trying to make headlines. You knew that if he just called you a bitch, no one would care. People call each other bitches all the time. Nobody cares, right? But go back to where you came from. People care about that right now because that's a hot topic. So she capitalized on it. These people are politicians. Politicians are just actors. That's all they are, right? She acted when she cried. Now she's acting, and this guy's calling her out on the bullshit. But I'll tell you right now. That guy deserves it. This is like karma hitting him in the freaking face. Let me read some of his Facebook posts, because he is, by the way, like a radical Democrat. And by the way, he still said, he goes, "I'm a Democrat. I'm still going to vote Democrat the rest of my life." This is like a cult, people. This is like a disease. Imagine somebody did this to you, like a Democrat did this to you, and just, blatantly made up lies about you being a racist for political gain. And you're like, "I'm still fucking voting for them." It's like, just come on my face. Just do it to me. Yeah, just fuck my wife. Oh yeah, I'm still going to vote for you. That's what just happened there. I mean, Jesus Christ. These are the things he writes. On the 14th, he writes, "Trump needs to go back to Germany and his Nazi roots." The four progressives included AOC, Ayanna Pressley, Tlaib, and Omar. They were all born in the United States except for Omar, who was a refugee and so he's literally telling Trump to go back to Nazi Germany. And then he gets accused of telling her to go back to Africa. You cannot make this shit up, folks. I mean, and then he shames a white chick in the grocery store for allegedly saying something racist to a woman of color. And I hope Trump deports you thing. You cannot make up this kind of irony. And then it fucking happens to him. So he totally deserved that, right? When you fuck around with identity politics, don't be surprised when they come to eat you next. Because that's all the woke crew does. They keep, like, Joe Biden was liberal for a long time. Now Joe Biden's a racist. They'll eat him. Then Kamala Harris, she's liberal, but she's a prosecutor too at one point. So she's popo, so gonna eat her too, right? Then they're gonna look around and be like, well, people to judge, it's nice that you're gay and all, but you're also a white dude, so gonna eat you, you're next, you know? And then it's just gonna be like, literally a woke fest to see who could change their freaking gender pronouns the most. I mean, it's fucking insane. Why anybody would want to be a part of the cult known as the Democratic Party is beyond me. Like, it's just fucking insane. It's absolutely fucking insane. And it manifested itself in Georgia, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. So anyway, why don't I ask any questions that you guys have? Any questions you guys have, let me know in the comments. I'll answer anything I can. She does look like a big fat version of Dennis Rodman. It's a good point. All right. Anything. If you have questions, let me see them in the comments. Anything. First of all, I didn't even know she was 9 months pregnant. She just looks like a fat chick. Let's be honest. She doesn't leave. I would have no idea. No way to know. And she was admittedly in the she had 15 items of food in the 10 items or less line. Like, you should go to jail. You want to go to jail? Go to jail for that. Go to jail for that. Call who? Why are people telling me to call things? If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I was hoping, but I only put it out there like 10 minutes ago, Laura, so I'm going to make it very clear. I want the haters to come on. Maybe I'll do a blog on it tomorrow. Am I still digging on the girl in Lawrence? No, I'll probably revisit that in a few more weeks, but there's really not, if the police aren't going to do anything, there's not much we can do, Speaking engagements, I did a blog yesterday. I'm going to be speaking in August at this kind of free speech / liberty / conservative group called Go USA. It's in Billerica. I put the information on a blog last night, so go and check that out. But I'll be live streaming it either way, and I expect to speak for like at least half an hour, so that should be interesting. Are you attending the Manuel hearing, and are we invited? Yes, and yes, if I can find out the date. That's correct. Other questions. Can I do another apology? Yes, I'd like to do more apologies in the future. That was very fun. Other questions. Are you your thoughts on the Sharks? No, yeah, you know how I feel about the fucking Sharks. That's what I'd like to debate. That's like the only topic where you all disagree with me on, for the most part. I'm sure some people are with me on that. Some sane people out there. Fuck the Sharks. Fuck the Seals. Kill them all. Okay. Enough of this. They live there. That's their home. Bullshit. Okay. Nobody actually believes that. If you actually believed that, then you would burn your house to the ground and invite the bears to live in the ashes. Because guess what? You stole that from the animals too. So stop acting like man doesn't just take what it wants. Like we just fucking give up some of the most awesome pieces of property in the world to fucking wildlife. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my whole goddamn life. Okay? It's fucking stupid. I don't know. I can't argue. Like, don't get me started on that shit. Did the sex offender that was getting transferred from Arizona to Mass arrive yet? I don't know yet. Probably not. He's got to drive here, so he probably won't be here for at least a week. Do you want me to send all the screenshot I had of the Anna Campos convo? Yeah, sure. I can't guarantee I would write about that, but always interested in reading. Let's see. Please show us the tornado MSM fail. What do you mean the tornado MSM fail? I don't get it. Because that freaking tornado in on the Cape, that was like legit. Took off a freaking roof. Holy shit. That was wild. Wild shit. Let's see. Other questions. I'm just going through the questions here. I'm trying to answer as many. We back Thursday? Yeah, we'll be back Thursday. I got high and forgot. Oh, well. What did I forget? Oh, whatever. Let's see. I want to hear all about the Plymouth jet ski. Yeah, we'll be talking about that probably on the live show. I want to get Brett's take on that. Let's see. You never liked any Democrat? That's not true. I've liked plenty of Democrats. I voted for Obama in 2008, like a lot of people did. Have I voted for, I feel like I've definitely voted for other Democrats in the past. But they've just completely turned me off with all the bullshit. Would Manny have to ride from Arizona to here in cuffs? Yes, he would be shackled inside the car. That's correct. It will not be a pleasant trip. I'll tell you that much. Any luck with the crowdsourcing? You mean finding a website? No, I've not found a website that doesn't take less than 5%. If that's what you're asking. But I'll tell you one thing, the donations have kept the blog afloat. We would not be, if I had not put that donation button up over a year ago, I would not have enough money to still be here today. So I graciously appreciate all donations. Did you hear anything about the other jet ski drivers? No, but obviously the jet ski that crashed knew the other jet ski. They're all together. And because how do you think douchebag got out of there, right? His buddy on the jet ski got him out of there. And they're like, what about the girl? Like, fuck it, she'll talk. Let's just leave her. Somebody else will get her. Nobody knows we're here. Ha ha. That's literally what they did. How can I get a book signed when I'm done reading it? You come to an appearance or message me. We can maybe try to figure something out. Jen Royal is a babe. I mean, yeah, Jen Royal is definitely hot, especially for her age. Let's see. Anything else? Did you send donuts and turtle books to Arizona? I probably should. Yeah, I will write about the sharks. Trust me. If there's another attack or some bullshit happens, or the worst is when a shark, like a stupid shark, beaches itself, like it happened at the Cape a couple years ago. Some idiot shark beached itself, and all the morons go to save the shark. Okay, that was the lowest of the low when those idiots did that. If the shark is too stupid to stay in the water, it wasn't meant to survive. Pretty simple. Don't throw the man-eater back in the water where people swim. Yeah. And there's a lot of beaches, right, in this state. A lot of towns like that have a coastline where seals can go. Like the entire town of Rowley. I don't think they have a single beach in Rowley, but they have a long coastline. So why can't the seals go there? Why not? And then the sharks can stay in Rowley when nobody swims. Wouldn't that make more sense? Good God. Good God. Whew. NBC posted it. Let's see. I want to answer as many of these as I can, but this FUPA computer is being a little stupid. Call the seals. Exactly. I mean, it's just like imagine we said that about deer. Like we can't kill any deer because it's their home, but they're running onto the highway and they're getting in the way. Well, just don't use the highway. Well, I want to use the highway. God, these people are stupid. NBC posted a video of a seal chilling on a beach. I said, this is what the sharks are here, legalized seal hunting. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's going to hate you for that. Everyone. But it's true. You're absolutely right. Am I coming to the party? What party? Come to Australia, no sharks here. Yeah, right. You guys invented sharks. Yeah, that was a great. Nicholas bought the Brett shirt. I love those shirts. Those are great. I crack up with those shirts. Gutter Muppets party? Maybe. Probably not. I'm going to be honest with you. I would think they would do flights. No, they're not going to fly that guy back. That costs money. Fuck that. And they pick up other prisoners along the way, you know? They drop them off all over the country. It takes them forever to get there. It's not a fun trip, I've heard. It's terrible. Any other questions? Man, this is a good live tonight. Good audience. Huh. All right. Do you know if you picked up any turtle riders in the Arizona as a result of them reading your blogs? I think some of the cops down there, they seem to like Turtle Boy now. Chelsea says Rowley, Peep here. It's true. It's true. I don't understand, Chelsea. What the point of... I don't know. Why don't they have beaches on Rowley? Like, what's the point of having a coastline without a beach? I don't get it. I never understood that. There's other towns like that, too. What are the other ones? Like, Newburyport, I think. They have part of Plum Island, but, like, the part that touches the ocean besides it has no beaches. It's like, the hell's the point of having a beach town if you're not going to have friggin' beaches, right? Like, even Lynn's got a freaking beach. Lynn! Christ! Does Boston have any beaches? That's a good question. I don't even know. Are there any beaches in Boston? I wouldn't want to go if there was. The Globe posted an article about the Sharks are skipping Rhode Island to come here because of the menu. Oh, good God. Get them out of here! All right. Any other questions? Rowley is the chlorine of beach towns. Now, Rowley is nice because they don't have a beach. If you have a beach, then the douchebag starts showing up. That's why you got to do what Manchester by the Sea does and just make it private. All your beaches are private. The only people that can go there are people that live there. Winthrop, Revere, East Boston. You call it a syringe beach, yeah. Southie's got a beach? I didn't know that. I wouldn't want to go in the water. All right. All right, so if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll call it a night. It's been a hell of an episode. The views were great. It's at over 100 the whole time. It's great news. Definitely want to see this puppy grow. I love doing this. I love communicating with you guys. I love talking to you guys. And all right, so it looks like no more questions. And we will talk more about jet skis and bullshit again on Thursday night. All right? Peace, Starter Riders.